am I gonna do? Oh, shit. My bad. Hey.
Hey everybody, welcome to a nice old time here at Block Talk. And I'm your host, Crypto Nikolai, joined with my ever helpful, dedicated, and intensely interesting
Can't hear you,
friend,
mate.
Crypto Foxtrot. You don't hear me? I'm hearing myself. Hmm. Hang on.
Something wrong with your mic there, mate.
Well, alright, this is a little weird. Let me see. It's picking up the mic. Maybe. Are you sure?
What is happening? Like, I can hear stuff moving around, but I don't hear you.
It's picking up the
At
mic.
all.
Maybe. Okay, you have me muted because I'm definitely coming through on the stream. I'm not crazy. So I don't know if you're just not hearing me. Oh, maybe I am not sending you any audio in the thing. Hold on, let's see.
Is it just me?
It's definitely. I'm coming through on stream.
Hello?
Hello? I can hear you. But you can't hear me, so you can't hear me telling you I can hear you. Hear you just fine.
What the hell is going on here?
Let me try something.
Well, I can't hear you at all.
Alright, now can you hear me?
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, for some reason, when Zoom updated, it switched to my default mic. So, there you go.
Oh, okay. Not a problem, not a problem.
But yeah, we are back and doing big things here in Block Talk Land. How's it going today?
It's going, man. It's getting cold, and I don't like it.
Well, dear mood to fate, it is very drippy. Let me tell you, it is the
Yeah.
drippiest that it can possibly get, and that's what we're all about here: is being drippy.
Oh yeah, drippy, wet, moist, just any sort of adjective used to describe or being wet.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're good with that.
So I just wanted to kind of do a quick recap here
Oh yeah, the dump.
Yeah. So we had a nice little dump here. These are 1 hour candles. Now I'm going to show you something that um, is really interesting to me. In the midst of this
All right.
dump, okay, so this dump is happening. Just just terrible dump. This is actually the Tron USD chart, but you can see across the board right around the same time, just massive sell-offs. Here's Bitcoin. You got Ether, okay,
Mm-hmm.
EOS. So what do you see here? Some similarity, right? Some general sell-offs and
Yeah.
stabilization around that price point. I want you to watch at what happens on this particular coin.
Okay.
So this is ZRX, 0x. And 0x managed to not just avoid the general downtrend on the exact same time scale as Bitcoin, Ether, everything else, but it actually pumped.
Yeah, yeah, and that was due in part to some news. There seems to be some sort of debate around whether or not that the information was a leak from someone at Coinbase, because Zero X is the protocol on which Coinbase Pro, the Coinbase's proprietary exchange, is built on. Um, so I think it's kind of interesting that Zero X pumps in the midst of massive sell-offs. But I'm not sure I'm ready to call it an insider information leak just yet.
Hmm.
Because advancements happen in the crypto space all the time, and there's always somebody who's quick to say, "Oh, that's insider information," blah 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 blah. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes big things happen. They may have had an event or a major breakthrough in something they've been working on, and the investors responded to that appropriately by buying it up.
Yeah, and just goes to show you that even in the midst of financial ruin,
Yeah.
of massive sell-offs and bear markets, you can always find the silver lining. Another little bit of information here. I want to show you the XRP chart. So XRP on 1 hour candle had the same kind of general downturn that we saw.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually as pronounced as the Bitcoin. It was a little bit more gradual. And then with the sell-offs that happened a little bit later in the evening, there was a corresponding pump at around 8 p.m. Eastern time, and that pump, lasted for about 6 hours, and it was about a well, let's move this meeting ID here a little bit. It was about, oh yeah, solid 1,000 sat jump.
Yeah. Oh man.
So basically, it was oversold. People panicked. So people like me, who looked at the market and said, "Well, this is just fucked. Let me just get out and just tether up."
Yeah.
So if you were wise enough to look for an alt, you could have bought the dip here on Ripple and done very well. Or, like I said, we had the ZRX, ZRX news there. And like you said, maybe not insider news per se, but definitely interesting. So when you say that there was some news released, so you're saying that there wasn't insider trading, but that what was the actual news?
Okay, so there's been a Coinbase article, I believe, from like their internal marketing, internal news, or internal communications. There we go. That's probably the better term for it. There was an article released talking about some sort of advancement with Zero X. I haven't actually had a chance to read through it yet, but it is floating around out there, and I'm going to track it down and share it in our Discord for anybody else who may be interested. Um, but yeah, I think if the news comes from Coinbase itself, it's kind of difficult to say that it's insider trading or something like that. I think that might no, that's not it. It's around here somewhere. Let
You
me see
talking
if I can.
about how ZeroX was going to be listed on Coinbase Pro?
Mm, that may yeah, I think that may be it. For some reason, the only thing that's standing out in my mind is sort of like the clickable graphic that's been showing up everywhere. I know I can find it. I just got to be in the right place.
Yeah, there's definitely a rumor they're going to be listed on Coinbase Pro, so that's very exciting. Um, but yeah, so kind of getting back to it, what caused this dip? I mean, Bitcoin, and all the major cryptocurrencies followed suit. They all dipped,
Yeah, yeah.
5+%, and it was just within minutes, right? I mean, it was super fast.
Oh
Um,
God, yeah, it would happen like in the blink of an eye.
yeah. So when we talk about causes for this, basically one of the factors was low buying volume. So
Yeah, yeah,
the
that would
fact
definitely do it.
Yeah, the fact that Bitcoin had gotten to a place where it had the lowest trading volume in months, if not longer, really was dipping down. That gives advantage over to the bears and the shorters out there.
Yeah.
So this is the lowest daily volume in more than a year, according to a
Oh,
crypto trader that follows it. And so then there was a widespread technical analyst on Twitter who said that there was some room for some volatility, that Bitcoin had just moving within the bands, right? They were just bands of highs and lows expected, and it really just was staying in that range. And so he said that there was going to be some definitely some activity happening, but he didn't know in which direction, and turned out to be not even. Uh, Close to the extent of the downturn there, but definitely in the right direction. And then finally, this little graphic right here that I'm just going to put on the screen. This is what it looked like, during that
the
fateful day. I mean, this seriously looks like something off Bizanacci's Facebook page. I mean, this is like,
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like that's it looks like Bogdanov got somebody on the phone and just dumped it, man.
yep, yep,
So bad.
absolutely. So basically, what we have here is just massive sell-off, and so basically it had held the range of 6,500, which this article points out. It had held above 6,500 for a long time. Most people thought it was sort of an impenetrable wall, but we all know what happens to those Trump walls. They just get buried under or catapulted over. So,
Yes.
so anyway, so basically now traders are saying how quickly it's going to bounce back. A lot of people, if you think back to 2017, on September 20th, actually this was 2018, Bitcoin did have a 6% drop, but then had a surge of $600. So we were looking for that surge back, but it really just isn't there quite yet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, what I was really looking forward to is having a similar bull run like we did last year around this time, because this is right around the time of year where everything kicked off and everything just went straight to the moon. But I feel that in part the ETF deadline of October 26th just came at a really really bad time, um, because now these people who are working on the ETF, the Winklevi, um,
Right.
with theirs, and then CBOE and all those guys, now they're having to crunch time all this to try to get everything polished up and ready for the ETF decision. Um, Personally, I don't think it's going to get approved.
No. I mean, the reasons for the other disapprovals of, inability to prove lack of market manipulation, and foreign, intervention in the Bitcoin markets, basically the same problems are still there, which is why I don't think it's going to get approved either.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we're still very, very in the early days right now. Um, so I think we're still maybe a year out from an ETF decision that favors crypto. Oh, let me turn my camera down here. Sorry about that.
Yep, perfect, perfect.
Um, so I'm hopeful, because the rejection this past time wasn't really a rejection if you think about it. They were very open to the idea of the ETF being an exchange traded fund for those who aren't familiar with the acronym. Um, it was more of a hey, like you're on the right track here, but there's still some concerns that we have about it. So let's address these concerns and revisit it later. So that to me is a positive step in the right direction. It just says, we haven't implemented those changes and, kind of proven that there isn't market manipulation occurring.
Yeah.
Um, so, I mean, I'm hopeful that, in the next, year or so, there will be a Bitcoin ETF out there available for people. But it's not going to be this year, unfortunately.
And it's not going to be in the U.S. I'm very, very
Yeah.
confident in saying that the first ETF will either be in Europe or Asia, and I'm actually leaning towards Europe,
Yeah.
only because Europe has been sort of at the forefront of pushing crypto into, like, intermixed with their markets and different projects there.
Right.
So I think it's very, very, very likely. In fact, Mark Cuban, huge U.S. based investor, has already been doing that. Has already been purchasing Bitcoin through a Swedish company as well. So they're not ETFs; they're ETNs. It's slightly different, but essentially
Yeah.
it's the same thing. And so Europe's kind of already doing it. As for Asia, if you look at that, I mean, we're going to have. There's still some issues. ICOs really can't flourish in Asia due to the fact that the governments are kind of against them. But if you put that aside, things like the Tron ecosystem that's growing, to a lesser
That's a great
extent,
example.
EOS. These are major, major environments. I mean, people look at Tron as the next Ethereum because it has the speed, it has the scalability, and it
Hmm.
just launched a virtual machine. They just launched their mainnet. So we're in a position where Tron could actually take over and be the Ethereum of 2019.
Yeah, and Tron making big moves in the last couple months with the BitTorrent acquisition. Um, Arguably one of the largest file sharing platforms on the planet. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
been around since the early 2000s,
Yeah.
widely used by. Um, I don't want to say it like it is, but pirates, people pirating software and movies, music, apps, whatever you want to call it. Um, but it's been very, very successful. There's a reason they've stuck around for this long, and that's because um, music subscriptions have just gotten so ridiculously expensive. Nobody really goes and buys CDs and albums anymore. Everything's digital.
Yep.
Um,
And then there's the Apple iTunes store for that. If you want to buy
yep.
individual songs, you can do that. Some people prefer to do that rather than go through the process. But yeah, I agree. If you want to download any kind of, torrent content, I mean, you've got movies, you've got just different videos, you've got art, you've got,
Yeah.
what are they, ebooks and stuff like that. So, you have a lot of different options there in that setup. So that's a very much used and popular thing that's it's on the internet today. This is not like a hypothetical. One day people will eventually use their backed,
Right.
credit card to purchase Bitcoin at their Starbucks. I mean, this is like a real thing that people are using right now.
No, you're absolutely right. People have been using it for a long, long time, and the BitTorrent acquisition is, BitTorrent is still up and running. Anybody's able to go on there, download anything they want, and just go from there. But Tron is actually planning on implementing um, paying out people who or paying people who seed files in Tron.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, think about this: if you are a just up and coming dApp developer and you had a choice, you can pick between making a dApp on the Ethereum blockchain, which is about to undergo a major change. I mean, we are just weeks away,
Yeah.
2 weeks away, about from you know from what could be the end of Ethereum as we know it. It certainly is the end of Ethereum as a proof of work coin in terms of all of that, but definitely Ethereum might be on the way out. And I hate to say it because Vitalik Buterin,
Yeah.
one of the smartest guys around, very smart, knows his stuff. But the fact that he is potentially talking about stepping away, I mean, a couple of comments that he's made on Twitter have seemed like he's, um, taking a step back from the overall operations of Ethereum. And so, what, what does that mean for the future if Vitalik Buterin stepping away?
that I oh man, like I dread the future about, or where Vitalik Buterin isn't involved in Ethereum anymore, because he's such a forward thinker and he's got his mind, dead set on the big picture. And him stepping away from Ethereum, I think, is going to be absolutely devastating to that. It's just, oh man, I'm scared to think of that.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big one. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. In terms of kind of coming up, what's coming up next? There's a common complaint among people who trade, and they say whales are to blame. The whales sold off all their Bitcoin and caused this crash. Well, there was a firm named Chain Analysis, combination there of blockchain and analysis there, released a report about whales, or the largest 32, I want to say. Yeah, 32 largest wallets, and they analyzed their activity. And you'll find this really interesting. So the first group are folks who are actual traders, and they're very large. They hold about $2 billion or 332,000 Bitcoin. And
Ooh,
they're the largest of the whale categories. Okay, most of these whales entered the market in 2017, and so they could be hedge funds or they could just be large investors who made a nice profit on the way up. Between 2017 early days and then the big bull run that happened.
right.
The next group are going to be early adopters and miners. They hold folks. They're instead of 9 observed wallets holding that many Bitcoin. These are 15 investors holding more than 332,000 Bitcoin, but
Hmm.
they do not trade.
Okay.
Um, they're very wealthy. They don't need to worry about the trading. They just are kind of there.
Yeah.
The third group are lost whales, which hold 202,000 Bitcoin worth $1.2 billion. But since there's been no activity on these keys, it is assumed that these folks lost the keys to access their wallets. And so
Correct.
these Bitcoin, 212,000 Bitcoin worth over $1 billion, are literally lost. They,
Oh man, that's a significant portion if you really think about it.
yeah. All told, these whales hold about 5% of all of the Bitcoin that exist.
Yeah.
So, these are folks who have or had access to their Bitcoin and now are either not able to access it, not trading it, or only doing some light trading and just kind of scooping new Bitcoin when the price goes down. The final group are criminals who, like the Silk Road entrepreneurs and money launderers. They hold about $750 million worth of Bitcoin. But since the investigation into the Silk Road and all of that happened, they locked those wallets, and now there's $750 million just locked away.
Oh man, that's so much Bitcoin just kind of like floating around out there, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What? Why isn't this not working? There we go.
Why is what not working?
Oh, sorry, my computer was acting retarded for a second there.
Hey, dear Mud Fate, by the way, if you're still listening, I wanted to thank you for following. It's a big help for us to have followers. And so, um, hey, 100 bits coming in from our esteemed mod.
Oh yeah. Hey, watch this. Watch this shit.
Boom! New sub. Hell yeah. Well,
Boom.
welcome to the blockchain family. We need a term for subs. Blocktonians? What do you think?
Uh, Blocktonians, not blockites. Just sounds weird. Blocktonians. Yeah, I mean I'm good with blocktonians. Blockheads.
Blockheads. Ooh, that's a good one. A little self-disparaging and kind of funny all at the same time. I like it. Well, I just wanted to do a quick on-chain FX check while we have a moment here, and it looks like the I'm going to move you over to the other side here so we can see this. EOS has actually continued to expand its number of transactions, somehow impossibly so. Ether transactions are up, maybe indicating some movement, some positive activity there. XRP still holding strong. Bitcoin trailing down actually quite a bit. And then beyond that, the rest of the coins really don't have very many transactions to speak of at all. But this is significant. I think Tron is continuing to grow, and one thing I'm not Tron, EOS, but I'm very interested in Tron. I don't even see him. Let me find him real quick.
When is Q&A time? Whenever you want Q&A time, to be honest. If you have a question, feel free to ask.
Yeah, this is crazy. So Tron only has 177 transactions on its chain here over the last 24 hours. So it really just is new, but has places to go. It definitely has room to go. Yeah, Dearmid, what's going on, man? What do you want to chat about? We're an open book here, Block Talk. We generally want to have people on the stream who are interested in chatting about different topics. Okay, you can barely hear us. That's bad. Let me see.
Yeah. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna hard mute my mic real quick and see what's going on here.
So what could be? I don't even have the music going, which I'm just dialing it now.
Dearmood, everything's coming in fine on my end there.
Oh, he's saying he can barely hear you. You're pretty loud on my end. Let me turn you up a little bit, though.
Okay. Green and black shirt. My name is Crypto Foxtrot, alright? Get it right.
Alright, that should make you a bit louder. I'm trying not to overwhelm everyone.
Testing.
Okay, here we are. He was just messing with you a little bit. I think it's good to get some feedback, especially about the kind of volume and everything. See if that's any better. I dialed it up a little bit.
Yeah. I did a test on my other computer here, and I mean, it seems like everything's coming in fine on my end. So maybe turn up your volume?
Yeah, try dialing up the volume a little bit. But yeah, so anyway, let's see what else is happening in the crypto world. So, in addition to the various headlines that I've read about people stealing and hacking Bitcoin, which we're not going to go too deep into because let's just be honest, it's how it is. All right, I'm going to dial him up a little bit, which will also dial the music up a little bit. All right, say something.
Hey.
Yeah, your indicator is just as loud as mine in OBS, so I think it should be good. But yeah, I didn't want to dwell too much on the just the almost daily articles we get about a hacker going on some shitcoin and then hacking Ether or whatever. But just one of the mechanisms. Okay, here's a question. Anyway, what are both of your favorite coins and why? I don't know a lot about it, referred by a friend. Okay, well, first of all, thanks to your friend for getting you out here and onto the stream.
Yeah.
We dial it up. As far as favorite coins, Crypto Foxtrot, why don't you, tell Dearmid here about one of your favorite coins and why you support it.
Okay. So one of my favorite coins, easily hands down, has got to be Ethereum. Now, there are a lot of changes coming to Ethereum that I'm not thrilled about. That being Constantinople, the change from proof of work over to proof of stake, I think is going to be devastating to the coin economy. Um, but the reason I like it so much is that it's very light, it's very fast, and it's very secure. Um, it's easily one of the best transactional coins out there, compared to Bitcoin, where it could take you 45 minutes to get the confirmations needed for a transaction. Ethereum tends to be pretty fast. Confirmations usually come in just a few minutes, as opposed to 45 for Bitcoin. Um, that, and I like the flexibility that it has, where a lot of projects are able to sort of um, build their blockchains off of the Ethereum blockchain, using the protocols that are already implemented there. So to me, I like having that versatility that Ethereum has to offer. But that's all going to change soon with Constantinople hard fork. So we'll just have to see how all that pans out after that, after
That,
the difficulty
mm-hmm.
bomb goes off.
Yeah,
So we'll
that,
see.
those are definitely good points. What other than you said the versatility? What initially got you on the Ether bandwagon? I mean, what was it about Ether that made you say, you know what, that I like this coin, I support it?
Well, Ethereum, much like crypto in general, it allows the smaller investor, the guy that doesn't have tens of thousands of dollars of liquidity, to dump into an investment strategy. With crypto, you're able to buy fractional amounts of pretty much any coin, as long as it meets the exchange trade minimums and what have you. So like if I have 20 bucks, I can go, okay, I want to buy, you know, 230, 240,000 Satoshis, Satoshis being the base unit of Bitcoin. Um, so you're not limited to having to buy entire chunks of a coin like you do with stocks, because you can't buy half of a stock. You can't buy a quarter of a stock, but you can certainly buy a quarter of a Bitcoin. So having that sort of accessibility is very, very important to me. And, I'm not a huge, wealthy investor. So I can't just run out the door and go, okay, I'm going to go drop $6,200 on a full Bitcoin. On the other hand, I can run out the door and be like, I want to go buy a full Ether and move it around cheaply, quickly, and sell it into just about any other crypto available out there, much like you can with Bitcoin. So that's kind of why I like Ether. It's kind of like the little man's coin, that can be used widely for a different range of stuff. That's why I like it.
Okay. Well, very, very good points there. Definitely Ether, one of the more flexible currencies. It's been out a long time. Like you said, it has multiple markets. They have whole exchanges built on the Ethereum blockchain that trade with Ethereum and other altcoins.
Yep.
It's definitely it has one of the higher numbers of GitHub entries and edits, so it's very actively programmed as well. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of interesting things about Ether, but it's
So
not
red
my one
curtain.
of my favorite. What's that?
Sorry, he said so red curtain. What about you? That would be
uh,
Crypto Nikolai.
so I would say of all the coins out there, one that I've actually had my eye on, I've got two. I've got two for you. Um, and it's hard to rank them, which I like more because they're very different. But for now, I'm going to talk about Ripple. So Ripple is one of my favorite coins, and I've been following it and investing in it since the early days when it was way overhyped, and and it hadn't really flourished yet. And what happened with Ripple was is they set out with a mission to make it easier for banks to send each other money and for people to send each other money internationally. And so they developed different platforms for it using first they decided to use their platform only for the transmission of information between banks, which is the X current version
Yep.
of their software, and then they upgraded that and they said, okay, well now we want a system where individuals can transfer currencies, and that's where the X Rapid platform comes in. So Ripple is extremely effective at moving money. So when you look at the the costs associated with moving. Now they did a test run. They moved 4 billion Ripple, which at the time was trading for about a quarter. So it was about $1 billion was traded for a matter of cents, pennies.
Yep.
So $1 billion was transferred along their network with transaction fees of like 9 cents or something. Like it was absolutely crazy. And no other coin could boast that. I mean, it's just they don't have the setup, they don't have the infrastructure. If you take something like one of the bigger coins, like Bitcoin, like Ether, you're going to have higher fees on that regardless. And the problem, and not to step on Ether a little bit here, the problem with Ether is that the transaction fees fluctuate
Yep.
as a point of network usage. So the more the network is being used, the higher the price of gas gets, and the higher the price of gas gets, it means the more you pay for your transaction. If you're running smart contracts, which is like a big feature of Ethereum, those get more expensive to run as the gas prices goes up as well. So, you know, there's a lot of problems with that. Ripple, on the other hand, they have focused almost exclusively on this dream of helping people transfer money, and there's a petition going around right now to make Ripple the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games official cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, people visiting Japan from all over the world, who's got spare yen laying around? I mean, I don't. So you're gonna have to convert your currency over, right? And then at that point, there's Ripple. So
Yeah. Yep.
it could be big. It could be big. I hope that answered your question. Um, but we definitely are fans of more than one coin, and as you'll see, the more you watch, we kind of dive into different ones. I've been diving deep into EOS lately, and that had its ups and downs, if you will. And
Mostly downs.
well, it started off mostly ups, and then it went big time downs. And the EOS blockchain is an interesting one, which is the other
Mhm.
coin I wanted to talk about. Uh, e-
Probably the one of the most decentralized coins I've seen out there.
yeah. Now Tron did say there was an interview with major Tron spokesman. It wasn't Just Sun per se, but it was a person nearby, and he referenced Just Sun's comments. You've heard of Ripple? Sorry, I am too, man. I am too. I bought the Undying Love has been filled with pain. I mean, I'm talking about hide the pain, herald levels of pain, because I
We're
bought.
talking about $3 Ripple levels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I bought Ripple like when it was way, way high up in terms of valuation. It was overvalued at the time. I did not know that, and it did dip significantly. So, um, yeah. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do good things. There's good stuff on the horizon, man. Good stuff on the horizon.
Yeah, I
Um,
think if Ripple can manage to become the official cryptocurrency of the 2020 Olympics, like that's unheard of. Like that has never happened before. There's never been like an
mhm.
official currency of the Olympics. I mean, sure, whatever country you're in, um, obviously you have to exchange over to that currency, but to have a official currency of the Olympics, that's groundbreaking.
Yeah, and Jay Wolfie chimes in, buy high, sell low, right? And that's exactly what ends up happening most of the time. um, but anyway, yeah. So if the Tokyo Games thing did come through, that would be amazing. But even beyond that, the fact that so currency traders, for example, here, I'm not sure if you're German, but your name is somewhat German. But here in the states, the the fact that there are currency traders moving money between Mexico and the U.S. and they have to hold on to their money for months in order to, um, in order to find a window where they can offload some of this currency. I mean, Ripple just changed all that, so
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's very exciting times. He says I'm kind of confused now. Just kidding. Yeah, we like to meme it up here a little bit with the trading.
Yeah, if there's anything that confuses you or anything you want any clarification on, please do feel free to ask. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Another coin that we've gotten into, like I said, was EOS, and you mentioned it being one of the more decentralized ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason why I think it's
Nein, nicht.
okay, okay, sehr gut, sehr gut. Um, but yeah, EOS gives the user more control over the information they put out there. So when you create an account with EOS, you can create an account with just a regular name. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want, letters and numbers 1 through 5. And like one guy created the account just hey
Hey.
H all the way and then Y on the end, and so it just goes to show you can have some fun with it. And you know, the thing about EOS is that when you go to connect to an app or you go to
Mhm.
execute a contract, you control what information is put out. So you can control, and we actually featured this on an earlier episode of Blog Talk.
We did. We
You can
did.
go back to one of our earlier episodes where we discussed EOS blockchain. We talk about the EOS Dice betting game as well as using EOS developer tools, the toolkit there to kind of manage accounts. I actually created an EOS account for my co-streamer here, and we both use that to roll the dice a little bit on the EOS dice bet game.
We ain't gonna talk
Um,
about
yeah, no, it was a brief but intense, and I'm glad it's over. And
it.
but there's so much that you can do with it, and the blockchain itself has an absolutely crazy number of transactions. I mean, we just showed the on-chain FX stats, but I'm going to pull that back up here just to illustrate this point. If you look at the number of transactions columns, I'm going to move Jay back over here. If you look at the if you look at the number of transactions here, EOS above and beyond it just outclasses every other coin. I mean, literally, there are more transactions happening on EOS right now than every other coin that's listed on this page put together. Okay?
Yeah, easily quadruple the transactional volume of Ether there.
Yeah, which is
That's
wild.
that's nutty.
So if you think about that, I mean that is just it. Yeah, so that's a good point. Jay Wolfie comments here. Um, all factors include who wins. Yes, Bitcoin is king, but it takes a hot minute compared to others. So who wins? That's a great
Mm,
question. Bitcoin is considered by many to be a good investment vehicle, whereas altcoins are considered to be more risky, and you can do some day trading on those. Um, as far as the actual transfers of money, I mean, we have to go back to Ripple. We have to, with $1 billion for 7 cents or whatever it was, 9 cents. We can look at EOS, how, that EOS fees do not go up. They, they
right, no, they're fixed.
yeah, there's a fixed amount of fees, and the way they control the fee structure is that users stake their coins, and they actually get allocated corresponding amounts of CPU and network bandwidth that they can use to execute their transactions. So it's a completely different structure. I think Bitcoin to be honest with you, a little antiquated. Now they did add Lightning network support, which is still kind of in beta, but it has increased the speed of transactions somewhat.
Yeah.
Um, but I think, to be honest with you, I think next year is going to be the year of Tron and perhaps EOS. And those are just in the early stages. I mean, if you compare Tron to Ethereum, Ethereum's been out for years and has this whole economy around gas. But Tron's been out for like a month, and they're already starting to have dApps develop for them. So
Yeah.
give it time, and Tron may rival Ether. Maybe you'll have a new love after that.
So, my opinion, yes, Bitcoin is king, but you have to break all these coins down, and I mean, there's like 2,000 of them at this point. So, like, I don't even know what the majority of them are, except the ones I trade on. Um, so you have coins that serve different purposes. So
Mm-hmm.
you've got, Bitcoin. Now, okay, what commodity can we equate Bitcoin to? So to me, Bitcoin is the crypto equivalent of gold. So it's a long-term storage of wealth. Um, we don't here lately we haven't really seen too much of a fluctuation in price, except for the dump that happened yesterday, day before. um a lot of people lately, a matter of fact, have even started calling it the $6,000 stable coin. So Bitcoin, I think, is a store of wealth for long term. Um, the trading viability really isn't there right now because the market hasn't really been too volatile. So, I mean, unless you're holding like astronomical amounts of Bitcoin and you're swing trading for a few bucks here, a few bucks there, not really the most tradable coin out there. Oops, sorry about that.
Now, do you mean on the USDT pair, or what do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Like, okay, so if you wanted to trade Bitcoin and like make profits on it or whatever, USDT trading pair is probably not the best one to approach. Which is, I'm trying to think in terms of like, okay, trading gold for cash and crypto for cash. So if you wanted to trade Bitcoin, trading Bitcoin for cash isn't the best method because of the low fluctuation in price. Now you can trade that Bitcoin against altcoins. That's where you're going to see most of your profits from, because altcoins, they rise and fall in price all the time. So that to me is, that's good that we're able to trade against all these other assets. We're not just limited to cash. um, but in terms of like short-term investment, Bitcoin probably isn't the best way to go. um, Up until the hard fork had been decided, Ether I thought was going to be around for quite a while, but now I'm not too sure with Constantinople like right around the corner. So you know what? I really don't know who's going to come out on top, but I do know this: there are 2,000 give or take other coins out there. Not all of them are going to survive. So it's going to be interesting to see, around, between now and 2025, which ones actually made the cut. So, that's a hard question to answer right now. We're still very early days. We're still in the .com days of crypto right now. So, we're going to see a lot of big titans come out of this. And we're also going to see a lot of projects die off as well. So, I could say right now, hey, Bitcoin's going to make it to 2025, but it might not. Who knows? These markets are still very, very um, um, speculative. I mean, ultimately, people are only going to pay what they think it's worth. So, if people quit buying coins, we see coins get delisted all the time. That's eventually what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens, in the next, 7 to 10 years, who's still around and who's on top and who's next on the chopping block.
Yeah, as to your comment, Jay, about wanting a snake coin, I tried to find an altcoin that was snake related in a quick search. It's not listed on CoinMarketCap. Hey, thanks for the bits, man. Appreciate that.
Hey, that's awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Um, there are some ancient coins that do have snakes on them, but
I'm a snake.
um, man, just in time for Repticon. You guys, getting in the mood already.
No, yeah.
But that's a worthwhile project to try to come. Maybe you know what? Maybe we should have a little contest here. Do a Block Talk snake coin design and see what people think.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that kind of ties into our little Spooktober. You could add a little snake in there, scary it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So for those that don't know, I'm just gonna spam it because that's how you get the word out on this stuff. We're having a contest this month for promotional art for Block Talk. Basically, anything with the Block Talk information as you see. For example, you could use something like this Block Talk here, or the one that's on our official Twitter page, which looks like this. Um, Yeah, you see a little blog talk there. So any of that can work. And so what we're doing for the October contest is that basically you combine any of those blog talk logos with some kind of spooky Halloween theme. You know, you can do like ghosts, tombstones, whatever. And you can also choose, if you wish, to take that and say, okay, I would rather do a Doge or Dogecoin related art, and that's fine too. We're a big supporter of Doge. In fact, the prize payout is actually in Dogecoin, so just be ready for that. And any submissions that we see that are relatively serious, we'll receive a 50 Dogecoin just for sending it in.
Yeah, so no matter what, if you put forth an honest and genuine effort on putting together some sort of content for us, we are more than glad to compensate you for that, just for your participation.
Yeah.
Dogecoin is being one of the most widely used tipping cryptocurrencies, so we'd love to get you started on that, especially if you're a new investor and you don't really have the funds to start trading yet. If you win the competition, boom, 1,000 Dogecoin right there. That's 88,000 sats or some change, and that's enough to get you started.
Yeah. And now, what do you think of this? One economist calls Bitcoin the mother of all scams, and blockchain is the most hype tech ever.
It's funny you bring that up. I saw that article earlier. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He looks like some guy who bought at like 19K and then lost all of his money. Whatever, Nouriel Rubini, whoever the hell that guy is. Don't buy Bitcoin at 19K. That's a terrible idea.
He's a New York University professor. Okay. He told senators that literally every human being I met between Thanksgiving and Christmas of last year asked him if they should buy crypto. Folks with zero financial literacy, individuals who could not tell the difference between stocks and bonds, went into a literal manic frenzy of Bitcoin and crypto buying.
Yeah, that was a terrible time to buy crypto last year, because it was already on its way up.
Well, I disagree with that. If you bought in November, you did very well, provided that you did take profits and sell. Now, if you just held and didn't ever sell,
cucked,
then you just wage cucked yourself. So, yeah. So basically, now, is blockchain the most overhyped technology? It is pretty hyped. There's good reason for it, and we've kind of discussed some of the implementation. But if you step back, if you take a big step back here, and you say, is blockchain, worth the valuation that it has on it? I would say no. I would say that the vast majority of coins on CoinMarketCap are overpriced. They got investment pumped into them for cheap last year and the year before to generate these ICOs and to generate these projects. They have nothing to show for it. And just to give you an example, if we take just a quick pass over at CoinMarketCap.com, which lists these, you could also use on-chain FX for the same purpose, but we're just going to use CoinMarketCap just for convenience. So if we look over here, Bitcoin, we already discussed it. It has its issues. It's the gold of the investment world, which is not saying a whole lot. Ether about to castrate itself with a major software update here coming here soon. XRP fell from a high of $3 something all the way down to like 20 cents or something at its lowest. Just absolute destruction of value, despite, I would say, major progress in garnering relationships and generating this sort of banking consortium that it has. It's done very well, but it hasn't reflected in the price. Bitcoin Cash, shitcoin extreme. This thing is propped up and advocated for by a guy named Roger Ver, who basically got booted out of the Bitcoin team, and he came and he tries to promote this other coin He doesn't have any programming knowledge, so he doesn't know where to guide the coin. And in a debate between Roger Ver and one of the Bitcoin developers, I mean, it's very clear that it was all hype and no substance. So you can scratch that one off the list. And that's a $7.7 billion valuation. What? What can Bitcoin Cash bring to the table that's worth 7.7 billion? The answer is nothing. EOS at under 5 billion. Hey, like I said, EOS is on the up and up. But if you actually take a look at the dApps that are out right now, they're very simple. They're very simple dApps. They don't do a whole lot. They're not going to pull in the average person, so they need more. Stellar, which is a clone of Ripple, basically. I don't know if it's a fork of Ripple, but it is very similar to Ripple in terms of what they're aiming to do. I gotta double check that. Do you know off the top of your head if it's a fork of Ripple?
I do not, but let me find out. Stellar fork. Yes, it is a fork of Ripple. Oh no. Wrong. Let's see. There's an article here written earlier this year. It's basically Stellar Lumens versus Ripple. It says if you glance at Stellar Lumens and think that it seems similar to Ripple, you'd be right. Both are founded by the same person, Jed McCaleb, and appear to have somewhat similar technical functionalities. Both operate underlying payment processing solutions with native assets.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they're extremely similar. Okay, hold on.
Sensitive up there disappeared, but I can still hear him. Hashtag spooky.
What's that?
Just in the chat.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know what happened. All right, so where did lumens come from?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, Stellar is a fork of Ripple back in 2014, but now there is almost no shared code.
Okay. Yeah, they did do major updates in 2014, 2015, so huge changes. But yeah, they're a fork of Ripple. They're trying to get in the same type of arenas, but Stellar does have other things that they're working on. So, for example,
like Stellar X.
Yeah, the Stellar X exchange, which we featured on previous videos. Oh, he's calling you sensitive. Okay, I got it.
Hey. Sensitive? Who's sensitive? Surely not Crypto Foxtrot.
He did disappear only because I adjusted the window here, but he's back and jiggling as usual.
Jiggling? You call me fat?
No, I'm jiggling your window up here.
Oh, you're making me motion sick.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Don't shake my box, bro.
Yeah. We got to get you in on a widget here, so I don't have to keep pulling you back up.
Yeah, we'll figure that out eventually.
But anyway, so Ripple, Stellar Lumens, again, one of the top coins. Getting back to this list, here we go. So we've gone through. We're on number 6. So keep in mind that we're talking about the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. We're talking about the top coins that exist right now.
Yeah.
And there's very limited projects on these coins. I mean, yeah, there's hype. Yeah, there's conventions. Yeah, there's relationships with organizations, but the actual working product is very, very limited. Now, if you dial it down to from 10 to 20, you get almost nothing. Okay, so let's look at this. Monero, a privacy-focused coin. Who uses Monero? Nobody. Tron, up on the up and up. IOTA, they have a very
Tracy time.
IOTA has a very unique approach to blockchain. In fact, they use the Tangle versus the blockchain, which is really interesting, kind of non-linear way of processing transactions. it's tangled. I mean, but are people using it? Maybe, maybe not. We did do a bit of reporting on IOTA being used in the Internet of Things for manufacturing, different smart factories, that kind of thing. So there's some potential there. But is it $1.3 billion worth? Remains to be seen. Dash, Binance Coin, Neo, Ether Classic. I mean, come on. You go down this list. I haven't even heard of these. Bytecoin. Okay, you want to talk about Bytecoin? Is being delisted from not one but the top two major exchanges out there.
Yep,
You know,
Binance delisting it coming up soon, very
yep,
soon.
yep, and OKEX is following suit.
Yeah, good. It's like a
Okay,
shit coin that pumped out of nowhere.
okay, so here you say good, but I'm saying why has this not already happened? I mean, look at these. I mean, Ontology trades on Binance. It's just a random altcoin you can trade into. Uh, Quantum, Eternity, BitShares, Bitcoin Diamond. I mean, these are low tier projects that just are gonna just eke out their lives and then disappear. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no future here, you know.
Yeah,
See a
Bitcoin
coin.
Diamond is one of those shit forks that, oh, we're going to improve this on the Bitcoin blockchain. And it just turned into a shitty little pump and dump coin that nobody cares about anymore.
Now here's an example of a coin that I actually use their product and it's decent, and I still think it's overvalued.
Oh,
So
basic attention.
basic attention. So you may have noticed in my browser window here is looks a little bit different than Google Chrome. That's because it's not. It's based on the Chromium, native browser, but it has enough modifications to where it's a little bit more interesting. Has security, has privacy, and has the ability to anonymously support the websites that you go to. Um, on mine, let me just get it pulled up here. So if I go to my settings page. Let me just get this pulled up here.
Now, looking at that list right here, I do see a couple of coins there that are actually pretty useful and they have interesting projects. Um, let's see, Steam. That's the proprietary crypto of Steemit, the content sharing website where people can go write articles and what have you.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
So
do
that
you? Mm-hmm.
go ahead.
Well, as a follow up to that, so you're familiar with Steemit. You've kind of been on there a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there is, you know, there's monetization there? That there's a way that there's going to be an economy that people are going to use the tokens and they can scale up to a value of $231 million or higher.
Well, that's a good question because I have been on Steemit before. I've looked around, but I've never actually interacted with like the economy there. Um, so, you know, I think that the concept that they have is good in terms of like making sure that content creators are tipped out in some sort
Yeah.
of coin. But was it really worth creating an entire currency around? I don't know. Why not just use something that's already in in use right now, like Dogecoin? That's a widely used tipping currency. But hey, they're trying to go against the grain and trying to create something proprietary that is theirs, and they are on their own blockchain. So that's good. So I think it's a great idea. I think it could be a little bit higher up on that list in terms of popularity or usefulness outside of market cap. But Steam is pretty good. It's a novel idea. Let's see, what's another one? Verge. You can buy 137 years of Pornhub subs with that, um, because that's all it's good for. Sorry to any Verge folks out there.
Well,
Not really.
so okay, so real quick, let's just ask the key question here. Rank 38 out of currently listed 2,071. Okay, so out of 2,000 to be ranked in the top 2% of coins, which is the top 40. So in order to be in the top 40 coin, do you think this webpage is top 40 of all crypto investments? Like, look at this. We could literally do this in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
to like build this page. One single trending line here in the middle, no graphics, no interactivity other than a list of tags on the side. Bro, this is like
Is there a coin for porn? Yeah, Verge. Um,
okay,
uh,
so actually, not only can you use Verge, but you can use other coins. Basically, porn is a early adopter of technology. It was an early adopter for internet. It's early adopter for different entertainment medias out there. It's just how it is. Vice, brings investment. So when we look at Pornhub, Pornhub originally partnered with Verge, and it was a big deal. It was like the first crypto. It was jumping on the porn bandwagon. But there's a lot of porn coins out there, and we'll actually talk about one here in a second. But if you look at what ended up happening with Pornhub specifically, they said, well, wait a second. Verge approached us and sold us on the blockchain, but then they were like, oh, well, we're just going to make this a non-exclusive agreement, and we're going to go accept Tron, and we're going to go accept other coins as well.
Bitcoin Cash.
There you go. Shitcoin. So
Shitcoin for shit porn.
so there are websites that accept cryptocurrency in different amounts of currencies, and then there are coins that are designed specifically for use in the adult entertainment industry.
Yep.
And one of those, I'm blanking on the name right now, so I have to look it up. One of those was recently hacked, actually. Let me see if I can get the article here.
Yep, and Stormy Daniels actually accepts that coin on her sort of page or wherever she horns it up.
Yeah, it was called Spank Chain.
That's it.
So the Spank Chain smart contract was compromised because they didn't pay the money to do a security audit. The Spank Chain team. Now this is a
Spank is spanked, wrecked. Dude, I'm dead. That's that's amazing.
yeah.
Spank got spanked. Oh man.
So now this is on the Ethereum blockchain. Keep that in mind.
Yep.
So not a separate token yet, as in it's on its own chain. It is a token, but it's not on its own chain yet.
Okay, so Jay Wolfie here is asking who Stormy Daniels is. Stormy Daniels was the adult entertainment celebrity who was tied up in the Trump controversy, where it was alleged that Trump's attorney paid Stormy Daniels a bunch of money, hush money, essentially. So that's who Stormy Daniels is. Yeah.
Yes.
Big name here in recent news.
Yeah, well, did you mention she got paid off by the administration and then they lied about it?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't mention that, but yeah, that's a great addendum to that.
I mean, that's where the controversy comes from. I mean, yeah, a rich guy like Trump can, it probably happens all the time. Rich dudes like that, hook up with, various adult entertainment moguls, but then they end up, in hot water if they lie about it or try to get in public office and lie about it. So, it's an embarrassing thing. I mean, the fact that she had to get paid off is embarrassing. All that. They want to try and avoid that. I understand that, but yeah. So they tried to be sneaky about it, but actually they ended up they may have used. I don't know.
Paid her off in Verge coin.
Yes.
So Jay Wolfie said trying to be sneaky. Verge is a privacy coin, so.
Yeah, I mean that's what their initial argument for Pornhub was, is that there's market towards privacy. But that was the initial argument for all of crypto, and that got debunked when the FBI used blockchain explorers to find the people who used the Silk Road wallets and then lock those wallets. So I mean, not every coin is anonymous and has that security built in. Now, as far as Darmud's comment about an actual printed coin to throw at dancers, let me tell you this. There's no way that they would allow you to throw a hefty coin, because you could actually hurt someone with it. So what you'd have to do is get like little coaster style things and then like flick them, with your wrist. Do like little sideways ninja star spin, and then that would be how you'd have to do it.
Yeah, and then you could put like a little QR code on each
Mm.
little coaster thing that at the end of a stripper's shift, she can just snapshot that, add that to her wallet, boom, paid.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, making it hail with those coins. Yeah.
Could you imagine like if you if you were to like rank each coin and give it a size based on how much it's worth? Could you imagine some like big whale guy just chunking a Bitcoin up on stage at a stripper?
Yeah, if it was like proportional to how much value there was.
Yeah, like catch this boulder, bitch.
Yeah, and then you can just spank her with it. But a bucket of coins, dude. I think it would be fun. I wish that. I think that we're actually quite close to where that could be possible. If you think about VR and you think about,
Yeah, very true.
how you want that. Thou doth not want these coins, bro. You are hilarious. I love it.
What we need to do is we need to go do a social experiment one day. And we need to go to like some random strip club somewhere. Maybe we'll go to Toppers, just see what's up. And just
hmm
ask the strippers, be like, "Hey, you want some of this Bitcoin? I'll pay
Yeah,
you in Bitcoin for a lappy.
yeah. I'm sure they will get all. What's a Bitcoin, baby?
Mm. You can pay me in Benjamins though.
Yeah.
I don't use fiat, bitch. What are you talking about?
Right.
I got a big Bitcoin. Do you now? Well, if you got a big Bitcoin, I'll send you my wallet address and you can deposit it there.
Yeah, for safekeeping and
You
mild
know,
trading.
we'll go the BitConnect route and we'll promise you a return on that. 3% daily.
Hey, E333 is one of the most popular DApps right now. Maybe that's what I should do. Just throw my holdings into discounted Ether. Let's see, just out of curiosity. It's like 20 Ether or something in once. And then 3% of that is almost an Ether a day.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Party time.
dicksbymail.com, are those where they send dick pics, or do they send like a dildo? What do they send? I've heard about it, but
I think that's the company that sends you a bag of gummy dicks.
oh, gummy dick. Okay, nice. Nice. I might have to employ that and just send some dicks out. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's funny. I'm glad that came up because when I was I'm not gonna say employed, more like imprisoned by Comcast.
Hmm.
I used to keep a register of the most dickish, biggest asshole customers while I was on the phone doing tech support. And I told myself, at the end of the month, I'm going to go through and pick the biggest dick out of all of them, and I'm going to
Yeah.
send them a bag of dicks in the mail. That would have been very, very illegal, and probably still is on my part, using customer proprietary information like that. But funny nonetheless. It made the days go by a lot easier knowing that I can just send these people gummy dicks in the mail.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But all's well that ends well. And if you're able to take advantage of that, I mean, at least you're gonna laugh about it, all the way to jail. So
Yeah, 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 and lose my job and everything.
yeah, it does look like we're having some issues with just
What's going on?
staying connected to the chat. I'm noticing on a couple different accounts here, our viewers keep dipping down and back up. So there might be something going on with Twitch right now. But
What are you showing on your end?
well, I saw I'm seeing two viewers in OBS,
Okay.
and there has to be more than that. So I just think they're just not showing up right now.
Yeah, it could be just some sort of connection issue. Maybe Restream is being temperamental today.
It could be. Yeah, Dear Mood, Anonymous Dicks. I mean, who can say no to that? Anyway, getting back to our list here. So the one coin I did want to mention real quick, basic attention token. So in the Brave browser, which is here, you can go through. This is my just some of the top sites I go to, just streaming sites, video sites, Facebook, whatever. And
Where's all the
basically,
porn? Did you delete the porn out of there?
I had to take down the Pornhub. That I reserved for my Verge holdings.
There you go.
Uh,
Smart man, smart man.
yeah. So basically, anyway, you can mess around with it, but what happens is Brave will actually give you BAT. They'll give you basic attention tokens.
Never delete the porn.
Yeah, to keep it for all time and underneath the bed. Um, so I I got 25 BAT tokens just for free just today. And what the Brave browser does is then based off your usage, and you can choose who gets it, but the highest sites, the highest percentage of time you spend on a certain site will get the highest percentage of BAT tokens. They're delivered anonymously, effortlessly, and they just have to set up a wallet on their end, and then boom, it's like, it's a good way to support the websites you use every day already.
Right. Another coin I see there on that list that has sort of like a working product, Pundi X. They are developing point of sale systems based on the blockchain. So that's an interesting one as well.
Oh, welcome back, Jay Wolfie. I'm sorry about the phone shitting itself there.
Let's see. Electronium is a shit coin. I don't know why people bother with that.
Well, they had this whole mobile mining thing back in 2017 that they announced, that you could download the Electronium wallet and then do some mobile mining and stuff. But, again, think about this. They are top what did I say? Yeah, they're top 50 coins here. So, do they have a working product right now? Do they do anything? No. And it's just that question just gets answered over and over and over. I mean, a lot of these are just pure shit coins.
Right.
They're just propped up by speculation, and honestly, it's very unhealthy. That's why people like this guy on Twitter that we talked about earlier, Rubini. That's why he looks at it as a mother of all scams, and I can't blame him, because there was a huge bubble that popped 2017, early 2018. It's been all downhill since then. The vast majority of coins out there don't have a working product or anything to show for it. So, we need a purge. If you guys have seen the Purge, the movie where they say one day there's all crime will be legal.
Yeah.
We need a purge, and we need to just kill off a ton of these coins, because
I do agree.
All they're doing is making crypto look bad. That's the reality of it.
Yeah, there's a good question. What makes a coin a shit coin? Well, okay. So a shit there's many different definitions of a shit coin. Okay, but we're gonna work with the widely accepted crypto community definition of shitcoin. And a shitcoin is basically a coin that has absolutely no working product. It's way overvalued, or it could be a pump and dump coin that people are getting involved with. To me, those are the true shitcoins. The ones that have no purpose being in the market. My buddy Nick, hey, they mentioned you there.
He bought ETH, but lost all his money because Ether is a shitcoin.
They should have replaced that with Ripple.
Yeah, R.I.P.
I'm sorry,
that.
Obsidian. Obsidian, there we go.
Oh, God. Hey, you know what? Obsidian had its moment, okay? It had its brief moment, and it pumped, and it did its thing, but then it's a shitcoin. So when we say shitcoin, basically what we mean is a crypto with no actual viable working products, not, and yet they still exist. So they're just propped up. I mean, when we talk about Bitcoin Cash, it's not what people would traditionally call a shitcoin, but we just don't like it very much because the personality who leads the coin is so abrasive. And then number two,
Roger Bear.
Yeah, and then number two, the fact that they don't have really the best and brightest team working on their stuff. I mean, their answer to everything is just increase the block size, which, what does that even do? I mean, they're not even using the capacity of their blocks right now, and supposedly it opens up the door for smart contracts, but no one's using it for smart contracts, so literally, why does the coin exist?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. sometimes, when we get frustrated and we make a bad trade, and we're just frustrated, and we're like, man, I did some trading on a shit coin, and I lost 3%, blah 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 blah. Sometimes that'll get thrown around, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the coin itself is a shit coin. That just means we're a shit trader. Um, so there is a difference between the two. I will always vote for a purge. Absolutely. If a purge ever came up on the ballot, I'd put a big fat check mark signed John Hancock right next to it
Yeah.
for the king to see without his glasses.
All questions are fine. We're actually really relishing it, so keep them coming. What is a smart contract? So, a smart contract is something that came about because of how blockchain tech works.
Yep.
And basically, a smart contract is a program that you write that executes one or multiple things that transpires on the blockchain. And so what that means is that it's a program that you set up, and then once you initiate it and you pay for the gas, or you pay for the fees to accommodate that program running on the blockchain, then every time someone goes to turn it on, it just automatically runs. It is inalterable, inalienable, to borrow from the Constitution. It is literally it will just run and just keep running as long as it has funding for those transactions, which are taken care of by the person who launches the smart contract, and then later on by users when they engage in it and they can put their own money in and blah blah blah. A perfect example of smart contract in action that we've showed on our stream is the EOS bet dice. So what happens is with that is they have on their end a random number generator, 1 to 100, and so what you do is you bet and you say, okay, I'm going to bet one EOS that the number is lower than 50, for example, or 50 or lower, and and then so you have a 50-50 chance. You send in your request for the random number. It all happens automatically. No one responds to it and then sends you the money. It all happens automatically. So if you win the transaction, you're just rewarded automatically with that winnings. If you lose, you lose. So the smart contracts, right? They are just programs that happen automatically, and they're very, very secure as well, most of the time.
Yeah. Smart contracts they're running just about everywhere, especially in a lot of these dApps that we're seeing pop up every now and then. But smart contracts, they're basically a way for people to set it and forget it. Because you write up the smart contract, you set it out there on the blockchain, and it's just going to exist out there until all the conditions are met.
Yeah.
And then once the conditions are met, it executes the payout of the smart, or the payout or stipulated by the smart contract.
Well, whatever the output is, right? It could be payout, it could be generation of a number, it could be statistics on this, it could be a spreadsheet generation. Whatever your output is, it just happens because the smart contract, the way it works is that there's no, just like anything on the blockchain, there's no central person saying, okay, I approve this, I approve this, I approve this.
Right.
It's not necessary because of how the tech works.
Yeah, and if you're looking for like a sort of dictionary definition of what a smart contract is, I have one right here. A smart contract is a computer protocol intended to digitally facilitate, verify, or enforce the negotiation or performance of a contract. Smart contracts allow the performance of credible transactions without third parties. These transactions are, and this is very important, trackable and irreversible. So you are able to see, using a block explorer, the progress that is happening within that smart contract. And since it's irreversible, that is decided upon by the consensus, the people running nodes on the blockchain that verify the transactions and stuff. So, once the conditions of a smart contract are met and the payout begins, like that's it. There's no going back. There's no redo. There's no reset. That's all she wrote. So, these smart contracts are basically a way for us it lightens our workload in terms of having to keep up with all these different criteria, and it just automates the entire process. They're smart.
Speaking of smart things, check this out. John McAfee, in reference to Kanye's password choices, password and all zeros are the most secure passwords these days. Not even brute force decryption engines use them. The reasoning? No one could be that stupid, so why waste processing power looking for them? Kanye's on the leading edge.
Um, John McAfee, your wallet's got hacked. Your wallet got hacked. Your opinion is irrelevant. Please sit down and shut the fuck up.
I mean, according to his definition of hacking, they never did it because it was impossible.
Yeah, I mean, you can change the definition of hack all you want to. At the end of the day, people got root access to your wallet. Sure, okay, the keys.
Yeah, but they didn't get the keys.
Yeah, the key may be stored in someone's head, but he lied about it. He said there is no built-in storage on the device. If you pop the back of the device off, there's storage there. It's there. It's a cell phone. Like, it has the exact same components of the cell phone.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, maybe he meant, storage that you could add stuff to beyond that. But, anyway, I don't think... I just think it's interesting that he has made some very provocative statements, especially in reference to eating his own junk, which is due to happen here by the end of the year.
Not at the end of this year, 2022, I believe.
Oh. Well, we got a ways to go.
Yeah. Let me just double check on that.
So when
John McAfee.
So when Tron is $100, he'll be munching on his own scrotum there.
Let's see. Twitter. Here we go. Okay, so last year, July, $500,000 Bitcoin within 3 years. Okay, so he's got until 2020, and he says, if not, I will eat my dick on national television. That's a direct tweet from John McAfee himself.
Yeah. I mean,
his work, not mine.
Yeah, he loves, explosive, controversial statements like that.
Very incendiary.
Very much so, and I think that it keeps the conversation spicy, and so I'm not going to hate too much on it. Do I think the Bitcoin's going to get that high? No, but then I do think a lot of signals that you see out there on Twitter and various other places, no one has a clue. No one has a clue about what price it's going to be by X year. I mean, the people who are saying 40K by the end of this year are still saying it. The CNBC crypto bull guy is sitting there saying, oh yeah, Bitcoin could easily hit 10, 20K, no problem. Forbes recently, up until very recently, had, oh yeah, Bitcoin could easily hit 10K by the end of the year. But they recently downgraded that because they realized, oh, we're running out of year, and the bull market of 2017 hasn't happened yet, so herb derb, not going to happen. I mean, the reality is Bitcoin's not going anywhere fast. We're not going to have an ETF on it. Where you're going to see the increase in value, in this humble opinion, is, on some of these smaller coins.
Yeah, and, I think it's funny you mentioned CNBC just a second ago because I want to say about 3 to 5 days ago, there was a big thing on CNBC where they talk about crypto and stuff, saying, "Oh, crypto is going to boom coming soon," and then the market immediately dumped.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, everything that CNBC says, do the exact opposite because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it actually was if you did the opposite of what CNBC said for better part of this year, you had a 95% chance of making the correct trade. Yeah. So if CNBC said it's time to sell and you bought, you did well. The converse of that, if they were saying, oh man, is it time to buy Bitcoin, and then the market would just die. So
insane. I think it's so funny how everything, the relationship that CNBC has with the crypto market is so inverse that it's become a meme at this point.
Yep. Well, actually, CNBC is quite occupied with the fact that stocks have been tumbling now for a few weeks.
This is very true. Very true. I saw a list. Our the Diego, who was with us for quite some time, posted an interesting chart of how much the richest people in the world lost during the stock market tumble. Let me get that pulled up, and I'll spit some numbers out here. Diego Cortez. All right. Raul.
You're talking about how like old Zuck lost billions on the Facebook dip and all that. Bezos lost like 9 billion when the Amazon price went down.
Yeah, that's it. God dang it, where is it? He posted it recently. I don't know why it's so hard to find. There's an article of Putin here. Billionaire losses or loses 90-something billion dollars.
Yeah, so this is the 6-month transaction, like history of Amazon, and you know, it was up to highs of just over 2K.
Yeah.
Just brushed over 2K a couple times, and then you know, from Friday the 28th to the following Friday, you know, it lost over 100 points, and then the next Friday it lost another 100, 200 points. So,
Oof.
you know, so yeah, he lost 9 billion, but he has, you know, his net worth is like absurd.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jeff Bezos will be set. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. So Jeff Bezos, total net worth $145 billion, lost 9.08 billion in one day.
yeah, yeah.
Bernard
Hey, Dr. D.
Arnault.
Where's the Dr. D coming from?
Dr. D. Hey, Dr. D.
Maybe he just sensed your fellow, you know, kinship of Dr. D support.
Oh yeah, Dr. D is like, he's my spirit animal. Warren Buffett lost a cool $4.48 billion.
See, but it's just it doesn't matter. I mean, it's big. Don't get me wrong, but like the dude Bezos has got $153 billion, and it's not all in Amazon stock. I'll tell you that.
Right, right. Nah, he's not that dumb.
Oh, you said Raul, and then it made him think of Dr.
Oh,
D.
yeah, yeah. Sorry. Portugal, Raul.
Oh man! So why doesn't Amazon have their own coin? They have their grubby hands in everything else. They do. They really do. They're getting actually kind of crazy. The reason why they haven't announced their own coin yet is probably because of they've watched and seen what happened, you know, with some of these other projects. I mean, major companies like Walmart, IBM, you know, some of these others are just now dipping into crypto, and
Yeah.
you know, you got to have a firm use case. You got to have like a Ripple like use case where they just have one goal, which is to make it easier to send money from one country to another or to move money between banks. Like that is their firm goal, and that's all they want to work on.
Right. No, yeah, like all these other big corporations that are, you know, just now getting their, you know, their feet wet and blockchain. You know, you mentioned Walmart; they're working on Walmart or Walton Chain. Um, what else? IBM doing a lot in blockchain with various projects. Even Disney getting involved with Dragon Chain for their AI and animatronics.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Walmart is going to be an underpaid shitcoin. Only 3 transaction lines open.
Yeah, they.
No, they're gonna make you check that out yourself.
Yeah, send you down to the express aisle.
Technological unemployment for the win.
Oh man, dear Mood, if you haven't already checked out Bizanacci on Facebook, I have a feeling you're gonna like it.
Dude, yes.
So just to give you a little taste here, we can boot up some Bizanacci. Let me find him on here. There he is. So this is the page, and so basically he does.
$15 for doing self checkout. Unfortunately, not. Nor do you get any savings for that.
Yeah, and using Walmart's coin actually will only happen if you cut off any union membership and you know basically agree to low ass wages. Dude, Walmart fucking sucks. Excuse my language, but they could be doing what Amazon just announced. Amazon just announced to make all their U.S. jobs 15 an hour, and
There's a catch, though. There's a catch. Yes, Amazon did up their minimum pay to $15, but they also cut employee hours all across the board.
did they?
Yeah, so there is a huge trade off. Sure, they're getting more money per hour, but okay, so now you want to go from $11 an hour working 40 hours a week to $15 an hour working 20 hours a week with no benefits. That is just like, what? Like, okay, yes, the people got what they asked for. You know, they wanted more per hour, but they just got cut and got their benefits cut because that's what they wanted.
So they said that Amazon's going to up its minimum wage to 15 an hour, including for part-time and temp workers, but it applies for full-time as well. Um, it would phase out bonuses and stock options for hourly. And Amazon workers that already make 15, an increase of 125, now to be introducing a direct stock purchase plan. So
See, that's interesting because I heard the exact opposite from some people that actually work at Amazon. They lost their benefits.
they lost monthly bonuses and stock grants for hourly workers. So that definitely happened. I'm not seeing the hours thing, but let me keep reading here. Hmm.
It's interesting that that article doesn't mention it because, like I said, you know, I heard this directly from Amazon employees.
Yeah, basically it's just the stock purchase option that's kind of going away. And then there's going to be a direct stock purchase plan in 2019. So, hmm. Well, interesting. I don't know if maybe that was just that particular site or something was going on there. Um,
Could be, could have been.
oh man, so your local Walmart there, Dear Mood, sounds like it's got some low levels of service. They need $6 an hour for the shitty service they give, except the Gimp leg guy. He's nice as fuck. Well,
Yeah.
I bet he, gets tired standing up on his one good leg. So, he needs to just, get his little pay bump there.
Right. Yeah. Or give him a chair, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the website Bizanashi. He's only got 52K subscribers, so go ahead and mash that subscribe button. But yeah, so he's definitely got some quality videos. So yeah, there's just a lot of good info out there. Hit us up on Twitter as well if you haven't already, at @real_block talk, and you'll be able to see some of the same stuff we're looking at. And there's a lot of debate going on around coins. Is it worth it? Is it a scheme? You know,
Oh man, there was another interesting. God, I wish I would have saved it. Oh man, I don't know where I would even find it now. Damn it. I'll look for it tonight. Maybe I'll bring it back up on Tuesday.
yep, you'll appreciate this. Welcome to America in 2018, where car companies fix the water, pizza companies fix the roads, and the government just keeps going further into debt.
Yes, welcome.
Oh, Block Talk Boy in the house. Welcome, welcome. So we do live an interesting time here in the U.S.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't see the crypto companies building roads and fixing water yet,
Right.
but it might happen. Give it some time. Let some of these companies get the name recognition, notoriety, success that some of these other companies have had, and you might see blockchain on your block.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. It'll be before too long. You'll see trucks going down the road that have Walton Chain logos on the side of them. At Disney, if you go visit the Hall of Presidents, you'll see a little powered by Dragon Chain
Yeah.
logo put there. So, it's very interesting. We're still very much in the early days of all this. I liken where we're at now in crypto to the early days of the .com era where websites were struggling to get off the ground, and then you have like these sleeping giants like Amazon and eBay, Google, all these sites that just took off and made billions of dollars during the 90s and early 2000s. um, so it's very interesting. I'm very curious to see what's coming soon and within the next 5 to 10 years, really. I saw a tweet up there about the next coins getting added to uh, Coinbase, I think is what it said.
um,
If you scroll back up just a little bit.
Next four coins getting added will be BAT, ADA, XLM, and Zcash.
That's old news.
Um, True, but noticeably absent
0x,
is
yeah.
0x. Um, Now maybe they're thinking, okay, well they already announced Coinbase Pro having 0x support, but I don't know. We'll see. More remains to be
Yep.
seen. A lot of the you know sort of Coinbase 5 that we talked about in earlier videos, have stuck around. So we'll see how they do.
Yeah, and they've done pretty well, despite everything. We saw, 0x maintaining uh, quite a healthy price despite the downturn everything else was kind of experiencing. So I like seeing those shining gems amidst an otherwise swirling shitstorm of a market. Tracy,
Dude, it's nonstop, man. It's nonstop,
you need
dude.
to get a new number,
I,
dog.
I, I know. I got a call, and this time they were saying my caller ID said it was from state of Georgia government,
Ooh, you
and it
got a
was
warrant.
it was located in Lilburn. And so I said, I haven't been to Lilburn in a while, but I don't think the head of the government apparatus of Georgia is located there.
Nah, probably not.
So when you start impersonating, dude, I get all kinds. I mean, sometimes the phone tries to do me a favor and it'll say scam likely or nuisance or
Yeah,
something like that, which is
yeah,
nice. But they're all nuisance. So what are you gonna do?
yeah. Unfortunately, I get those all the time. People trying to get money I ain't got because it's tied up in Bitcoin.
Could have been Daddy Trump Jr. Old Daddy Trump Jr. actually came to Athens this week.
He did. He did. He
Um,
stopped by the Classic Center to endorse,
Kemp.
yeah, Brian Kemp, the guy that's currently running for governor
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
the Republican ticket.
Yeah, he was just here this week. Spoke at the University of Georgia on Tuesday,
Yep.
and it was a big deal. But of course, the local press didn't have any announcements about it because it's in the Trump family. But
Yeah, and
you
we
know,
do live in a pretty liberal uh, city here. It being a college town, very
yeah,
cultural.
mm-hmm,
But to each their own.
yeah,
There's bad, there's good. On both sides of politics, and Republicans and Democrats. I mean, there's even bad libertarians. There's bad apples everywhere. So you just got to pick and choose wisely. Vote your conscience. I gotta top up my vape here as I'm sitting here on stream, like blowing my douche clouds.
yeah, yeah. Well, looks like Sidetail LT decided to throw a casual 100 bits in there. Nice little,
Hey,
nice little kappa. Appreciate you, man. Um, So we do we do live in a time where crypto is still early. People are still unsure about it, but we're going to stay and we're going to keep reporting the news, just like
Oh yeah.
Ron Burgundy. The news needs to be read, and we're going to read it.
Yep. Scotchy, Scotch, Scotch. Come on, Baxter. You know I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah. One quick note that I did want to warn our Blocktonians here about is that there's a malware that leads to cryptojacking in an Adobe updater. Um, so if you look, there's a
Sneaky, sneaky.
yeah. So basically, Palo Alto, the software kind of watchdogs, they've gone out and they found a number of these type of things, over 100 of these update programs for for different things, and
Yeah.
they found, including this string, which is flash player underscore down, etc., spiking in different URLs. So basically, and what makes it tricky about these updaters is that they will actually update flash, but
Yes.
then they'll use your computer's resources while you're idle to mine.
Right. Let's see.
So the best advice we have is just to kind of maybe move away from Flash. Actually, they a lot of they're discontinuing Flash in 2020. Um, 100 biddies, appreciate you. Oh, we got a nice little cheer one hundo. It's actually a cool animation on that.
Yeah, man. I picked it out. I slapped that in there because I thought the interactive kind of it'd be more visual, eye catching, maybe encourage some of our other viewers to contribute.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many choices that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, if you, for those of you who don't know or just started following us recently, we actually became a Twitch affiliate not too long ago, thanks to all of the people that followed us and got us there. And becoming a Twitch affiliate actually allowed us to begin receiving donations through Twitch's platform here in the form of bits. So, we get a portion of all those bits that people donate. So thank you all for those
Yeah.
donations. Most appreciated. And the biggest thing that I think a lot of people may or may not know is that if you are one of our followers and you have Amazon Prime, you automatically receive a free Twitch Prime sub each month that you can use on a content creator or broadcaster of your choice. So if you are a regular viewer of our stream, there's a little button right up there that says gift a sub. If you'd slap that button, and you can use that Twitch Prime sub for free, and that would help us out greatly.
Well, we've got a bit of a bit war going on here. Jay Wolfie 93 Size LLT getting into it and dumping bits onto the stream. Thank you guys so much.
You guys are awesome.
So those do help us. And oh my God. Okay, now it's everyone is at 400. Who's gonna break ranks? I don't know, but I have a feeling.
It's getting close.
Yep. Let's do Craigasm, baby. So, new number one in the house. New number one.
Dethroned.
Just with the Craigasm, bringing it out. But seriously, all of this revenue just goes back in and helps towards things like streaming equipment and stuff like that. So it's not like we're just running and buying Tron with it.
Right. Yeah.
Or are we? Yeah. Whoa! Jay Wolfie.
What's up, guys? We gotta go. Thanks for tuning in today. We're gonna go dump all these bits into some Verge Pornhub subs.
Yep, some
It's been a great ride getting us here to this point. This will be our last broadcast ever because we're gonna go develop crippling porn addictions now. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Get that Spank coin smart contract ready because this is gonna get worn out here. Look at that, big bits coming in. Oh man, well,
y'all are super dope.
Yeah, that is so cool to see. And with bits, I mean, it doesn't even have. You don't even have to do a big donation. You know, it can just be just a chill, 100 bits.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I mean, 100 bits is $1. That of course, if you donate to our stream, you get a nice little pop up on our overlay here, so everybody can see your gracious contribution. Um, so yeah, thanks a bunch for everybody
yeah,
throwing those bits our way.
yeah, it's really great. And so you know, we've been talking a little bit about going forward now that we're affiliates with Twitch, how to kind of continue to grow as we have. And so you're going to be seeing a lot more of us. Um, I will be streaming this weekend some. I'm not sure what your schedule's like, but we can find some times, and
Yeah.
you can always just dial in on a Zoom meeting. Oh,
Oh, overtaken on
Jay
the
Wolfie
leaderboard.
takes the lead with another 100 bits. Thank you, man. That helps so much. Um, that's a nice cheer right there, and it's PogChamp as well, which is maybe the best one.
Yeah, we might have to change the name of the stream to like Bit Frenzy or something
Yeah.
because it is getting for real in this bit today.
Yep. Yep. Got a nice amount of bits coming in. Current number one is J Wolfie 93. What a guy. What a
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm pointing in the right direction here. I think it's this way. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That guy, number one, right there, coming in with. Oh nope, wrong way. There we
Yeah,
go.
it's over there.
There we go. Sorry, everything's reversed.
Reverse,
So that guy
reverse.
right there, number one. Yeah, cha cha, real smooth.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah.
shots fired. Suck it,
I
Cy.
mean,
Oh,
I mean,
oh.
I'm letting you bask in your moment here. Don't make me just dump the bitty bits on here, because I might have to call up my boy Sidetail, and we're gonna work something out here. Um,
Very true.
but no, it's great to see there's a little competition here, and ultimately that we can have these folks tuning in and doing all that. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see the activity.
Yeah, we've never seen an influx of bits like this in a single stream. So awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome stuff. There's a gauntlet being laid down.
I'm trying to give you a bro fist, but it's not.
Just look in the emoji menu there.
I mean, I am, but all right, we're just gonna go cool story, Bob.
Oh man, I can't use my Dr. D emotes here. That's sad.
Where in the chat?
Yeah, yeah, I can only use them in Dr. Disrespect's channel.
Oh.
My hero.
Yeah, let's just draw some happy little trees here. Maybe we should do an art stream. You guys get a little canvas set up over there, and I'll just provide that nice Bob Ross narration while you guys draw the happy clouds.
Happy trees. This tree needs a friend over here.
Just so happy. Yeah, so good times. Don't download cryptojacking when you update your Flash. It's just it's subtle, but I feel like it's going to be hard to notice. Mining at first, but if you're like getting cryptojacked, like your computer is going to be like actively working when you're just not even by it. So you're going to walk up to your computer and be like, "Oh,
the fuck."
Yeah. Old curtains, bro. Maybe that's my new nickname.
Curtains.
You can call me Crypto Nikolai, or you can just call me Curtain.
Crypto curtains. There we go.
Crypto Curtains. New username. Oh, this could be a thing.
No, 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 because that just made me think of meat curtains and.
Yeah.
So crypto is gonna be like obscure curtains.
Right. All right. Well, we won't get crypto jacked anytime soon, but hopefully,
No.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, if your computer is being crypto jacked and is mining, which is like heavily engaging your CPU and GPU and does generate a lot of heat, and I think the natural internal, thermostat of your computer will kick the fans on once they get to a
Yeah.
certain temperature. So you're gonna like see your computer like actively doing something, and you're just like, what? So you'll know if
Yeah, and you'll
it's crypto
also
jacked.
notice a big drop off in your resources available on your computer because you're going to have all
Mm-hmm.
this malware running in the background. So if you download Flash and you're a crypto investor and you notice a big slowdown in your computer, you're probably being crypto jacked. So
Yeah, and just an easy way to double check that, just malware scan.
yeah, and I have a background in IT, so if anybody ends up being crypto jacked or has any suspicious software, please do feel free to reach out to me. I have all sorts of software that'll help you out, and I promise you, I don't have a crypto jacker built into it. I would even gladly scan the software for viruses sitting right there with you. Um, so yeah, just be really, really careful when installing updates, and if you feel like something's kind of going on in the background, something nefarious or anything, just reach out to us, and I'll be more than glad to provide you with some software that'll knock that out for free.
It's not Toby the Demon. It will be easy to tell when you're being hacked. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you'll know. And as far as getting hacked and stuff like that, just general good tips that we've noticed, and you'll see some of these in our previous streams, but definitely just keep an eye whenever you're doing a transfer or sending or receiving funds. Just double check the address information that
yeah,
you're punching in, because there have been known to be some clipboard hacks where basically like when you copy something, it goes to your clipboard, right? And then when it's on your clipboard, the hack will modify some of the letters and numbers so that it actually sends. When you go to paste it, maybe you don't check, then you send it to someone else. So just be aware that is a thing as well.
yeah, yeah. Very, very true. A big rule of thumb that I like to do is always check the first five and last five characters of the wallet address to make sure that it did copy over correctly. Because a lot of times people don't ever check that. They operate under the assumption that this is what I copied, this is what's going to get pasted. Well, if there is a clipboard hack that's running on your computer and you're one of those people that don't really double check to verify that, you could be susceptible to losing some of those funds. So just be very, very careful. Treat a crypto transaction like you would any sort of like cash, debit, credit card transaction. You wouldn't give your credit card to the guy behind you in line at the gas station and trust him to put $10 in gas on the pump that your car's at. And you most certainly would never leave your wallet just sitting out, somewhere random like at a McDonald's or something. So it's very easy to sort of overlook these small things since we're so used to these things being technologically spoiled. Um, but at the end of the day, the ultimate way to make sure that you're protected is to be proactive in protecting yourself. Traded in a dark alley with a hood on, probably not a great place to start. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I would be doing any back alley trading with some hooded characters.
Hey man, you go to Zimbabwe where they banned all crypto, and then that's what you got to do. You go to Venezuela where they have an official ban on Bitcoin. You
Yeah,
got to
y'all
be
got any of them shit coins?
you got to be mining. Like fucking what's his name? Oh god damn it, I'm so bad with names. Just like Chappelle looking for his altcoin fix there. Y'all got any of them altcoins?
Yeah,
Some people in the world got to be shady and buy Bitcoin. Thankfully, we live in a part of the world where we can do things like this, like set up the league dedicated to weed, called the Stoned Gamer League. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it requires all competitors to get high and asks for proof of elevation.
that's amazing. Where do I sign up for that?
They just talk to the SGL Sports founder at the Tipado, and you hear all about it on Cannabis, new show about
Yeah,
cannabis
I would
business.
definitely enter that league. I would get super blazed and play some PUBG. and just absolutely devastate the competition. So yeah, if there's any PUBG players out there, let me know, because I am definitely interested in showing you how it's done. Um, we can even place a friendly little wager on it. Oh, also, speaking of PUBG, if there is anybody out there that is interested in participating in a tournament, a PUBG tournament, hosted on the blockchain, please do let us know. We would love to potentially arrange something
Yep.
with First Blood. They are a esports blockchain, or a blockchain-based esports platform. So the entire process is it's all automated. It's very much set it and forget it. And yeah, we would love to put something together for you guys in that vein, because we haven't really done much with gaming, except for like the blockchain games that we've demoed here and there. But this is sort of a blockchain meets traditional esports sort of thing, and I'd love to go on that adventure with everybody. So yeah, let us know if you're a PUBG player on PC, and we'd love to try to set up a tournament for our viewers.
Oh man, hilarious,
So much CNBC memery.
dude. It's actually like real. Like they the whole desk. I don't know if you watched much of it. The whole desk, uh, sits there and says, "Well, Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Bitcoin's dead." They had a mock funeral for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then, this dude comes out and says, "Well, wait a second. Bitcoin's, going to bounce back." And he's like, he's a big dork. But
he's a big dork.
yeah, JWolfie93 says he will wreck people in this PUBG tournament. I would love. You know what? I think Block Talk is going to sponsor this PUBG tournament on First Blood. We're going to pick up a number of First Blood ticket or tokens, and we're just going to have to get some participants. So we just need to figure out. Just lost the keyboard there, Rip. We just need people to participate in the tournament, and we can do it. So, start practicing, because y'all two are gonna be duking it out.
Oh yeah. I am very formidable when it comes to PUBG. Jay Wolfie is as well. He is an absolute god tier player on PUBG Mobile. Top 2% in the world. So big shout out there.
Yep, that's huge. That's huge. Will it be enough to win the tournament? Will it be enough
We'll just have to see.
to steal the hearts and minds of many and just carry them off into the sunset?
And destroy them.
And
as
kill
Dr.
them.
Says, snap them up.
Snap them up, take their crypto, and kill them.
Yep.
Well, we'll have some more announcements about that. Maybe this weekend we can talk about the details and the player count we'd want and the prize pool and all that. But I think we can do a Block Talk First Blood tournament. I think that'd be a nice intersection where we got a little crypto tournament going on. We got a little PUBG. We got a little cross stream action, going. Streams are crossing, if you know what I'm saying. So there we go.
Yeah. Also, that applies to any Dota 2 players out there as well. Dota 2 isn't so much my cup of tea as PUBG is, but I'm just an esports fanatic in general, so anything to do with blockchain and gaming is just absolute heaven for me. Tracy, I swear to God, if you interrupt me again, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to destroy you.
It's bad, bro. It's bad. I thought I had it muted, so that's my bad. It's just something bad.
It's all good, man. So Jay Wolfie says, I was invited to the new beta and have won 7 out of 8 games so far. Well, that's just fucking dope.
Yeah, that's actually amazing. Well, keep practicing, because we're going to have a little tournament here. And it will be a paid tournament.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
I was typing until that unpleasant melody screamed at me. Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, it screams at me, daily. But we're figuring it out. But hey, I think there's some spicy competition here. I think that we're going to be, looking at.
I'm
Oh, okay.
Get out of
Fortnite
here.
only. Fortnite or bust. What about Minecraft? Still, is that
No,
is that?
we don't support Fortnite players, so get out of here. Just kidding. Stick around.
But actually, stop playing Fortnite. No, but
Play a grown-up game like PUBG. Okay.
to be honest, Fortnite is huge, and the money is there. So if you get good at Fortnite,
Yeah.
you can make insane money. Psalm, was the lead shot caller and assassin for Hot's team, Temple Storm, in this year, and they were just destroying. And at the top that Temple Storm had ever gotten, third place in an international tournament, top of his game, he announces his retirement to go stream Fortnite and try to compete there. And in the entire time he spent playing as a pro, he made more money in one Fortnite tournament.
Yeah. No, Fortnite has a huge following. I wouldn't even call it a cult following at this point. Like
No,
it's just a following in general.
no, they're big.
Um,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
real big.
it is the best selling. Well, they did it. It's free, so I mean, there aren't even any sales involved. It is the most downloaded battle royale game in existence right now. There are tons of streamers that stream Fortnite, and I mean, just recently, last year at last year's E3 conference. Was it last year or was it this year? Yeah, no, it was this year. This year's E3 conference, they actually had a pro-am tournament where they would pair celebrities with pro streamers, and I think the prize pool was somewhere in the ballpark of around $1.5 million.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just absolutely insane how
Yeah.
much money is being made off of Fortnite right now. PUBG a close second there. That's more of like a tactical, grown-up version of Fortnite where you don't build bullshit forts. Sorry there, DR Mood. Hush that fuss. Hush your fucking Fortnite. How about that? Play PUBG like a grown-up.
I think you're just salty because you wouldn't last in Fortnite. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
even Dr. D himself plays Fortnite. So
Yeah, but he also actively hates playing Fortnite.
everybody going to the back of the bus. I mean, that's where the cool kids are sitting.
Yeah.
Hey, looking at this, this is on Twitch for all games. Okay, so Fortnite is the top game that hasn't like literally just gotten released. So, looking at the top, obviously, you have Black Ops 4 just released, PC exclusive apparently on the Blizzard launcher. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what they say. I'm gonna show you what this says here.
Call of Duty launching
Yeah,
from Blizzard.
yeah, oh yeah. So if you just check this real quick. So this is the Call of Duty Black Ops like page. Yeah. So
Wow.
you can just you buy it right here. I mean Activision Blizzard, right? So you can buy it right here and then play.
Nice.
Thrilling, grounded multiplayer combat, 3 full zombies adventures at launch, and then the battle royale experience that you have come to love and expect. I think it's interesting stuff. Are you looking forward to Black Ops 4?
Yes, absolutely. I have been a huge Black Ops fan ever since the first one came out back. Oh man, 2008, 2009.
Had to be a while. Yeah.
I played all the way from Black Ops, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and now Black Ops 4 is actually coming with its own battle royale mode called Blackout, and that has just been absolutely devastating PUBG in terms of viewership. So, and plus, Treyarch being a AAA studio, they are just going to absolutely crush it. Like, some of the reviews I've heard about it so far is that Blackout is what PUBG should have been, but can
Hmm.
never attain.
Is that just because of the information in there, or what do you mean?
Well, it's because let's face it, up until PUBG came out, Bluehole, the developers of PUBG, have only been involved in the design of just a handful of games. One of them being a golf game. So I mean, you've got a developer of a golf game that's trying to break out into the shooter sort of genre of games, and it just hasn't really worked out too well. PUBG, don't get me wrong, I love PUBG to death. I play it very religiously, and I'm quite good at it. But I think with Blackout, it's the full release just came out, so it's out of beta now, and it's currently being played by all sorts of streamers. I think that PUBG is just going to be overshadowed by Blackout for so long that I don't know if it's just going to fizzle out. I mean, it will in terms of viewership, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
um,
Look at this random little tidbit I saw on Twitter. If you bought $1,000 worth of Ripple in January, it would now be worth $79.
feels bad.
If you bought $1,000 worth of Bud Light in January, drank all the beer, and traded in the cans for a nickel deposit, you would have $79.
Problem solved. Buy Bud Light.
Blackout, Jay will be dials in. Blackout is better from what I can tell. Fully destructible environment, different kinds of weapons. Yeah, it's gonna be super dank. And rip on the Ripple, dear mood. I agree, man. Although, just gonna point this out to you. Don't hold it. Just trade it.
Yes, yes. For the love of God, don't hold it.
Because if you hold it, you get creamed. But if you trade it, you do well. These are 1 minute candles. We're gonna dial out to 15 minute. All right, so I want you to look at from this bottom of 37.6 cents up to 44.9. You tell me that's not a dank gain right there.
Yeah, no. If you're holding a substantial amount of Ripple, you at first glance, 37 cents up to 44 cents, it isn't a whole lot. But if you got 1,000 Ripple, that's 7,000 cents. That's quite a bit of money.
$70 right there.
Yeah.
So for every 1,000 Ripple you own, you make $70. If you own 10,000 Ripple, you make $700. So it's yeah, you wanna hold. Basically, what you want to do, and this is the key to the markets right now, in my opinion. Long-term positions will just continually get punished. You're just going to lose until something changes. So something fundamental changes, whether it's regulatory, whether it's technology, whether it's some kind of mix of a company getting involved in implementing a product,
Yep.
whether it's some public event like the 2020 Olympics. Something's got to give. And so until then, keep your money in fiat and just buy dips, and then just wait for the inevitable correction and then sell. Don't just sit there and hold as because there's no benefit for you at that point.
That's hilarious.
There are two of my friends that are extremely tired of hearing me bitch about being screwed by Ripple. Man, you know what? I bet you that they are tired of hearing about it, but we're gonna keep talking about it because when you get ripped, you just get cucked. That's all that happens
Yeah,
there.
Guillermo, tell your friends to tune in so they can get sick of us. But we'll just have to make sure they donate all their bits to us before they get tired of us.
Yeah, true. And this is a perfect example of why holding Ripple is bad. If you were just holding at 50 cents, you're like, all right, this is pretty stable. I'm just hanging out. Hanging out. All right, it's dipping down a little bit. Oh, God, down to some 46 cents. It's 45 cents. Do I panic sell? What do I do here? Oh God. Oh God. Okay,
Panic,
okay,
panic.
okay. All right, maybe it's stabilizing at 40 cents. All right, we're stable. We're okay. We're good. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Woo! Sell, fire sell, panic sell. Get rid
But
of all
but
of it.
then it's so again, I think panic selling is fine if you're in a crisis. Like if you're somewhere around here, yes, panic sell because the bottom of the rabbit hole is all the way down here.
Yeah, But hell, I mean, if you got out at the top part of that dump, I mean, you'd be relatively okay since it corrected ish.
The key is buying that dip. So even if you bought this dip, which is okay, and you sold here or here, you still have a small profit. You have about a 2 cent profit here or about a 4 cent profit there. So potential profits could be gained.
Yeah, but I mean, you really wouldn't be able to see all that on a 1 hour chart, though. Um, 1 hour chart. I mean, you'd be sitting there waiting an hour for that next candle to show you just how bad you got fucked.
Yeah, I mean, you could zoom in at that point.
Yeah, yeah, down to 5 or maybe 1 minute would be better.
Yeah, well, lots of good information out there about crypto. Uh, then Taco Bell happened. There's some 2 cents for you. Well, hey, Taco Bell is the great equalizer because almost everyone can get behind some Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Almost everybody.
how can you not like a beefy nacho loaded griller?
Exactly. I mean, there are some people out there who hate on the Taco Bell, and they're entitled to their opinion, but
They're also communists.
they are red-blooded
Taco
commies.
Taco Bell dumping. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's what happens after your Taco Bell, them spicy dumps. But all right, that gets through all the news items, everything I have. Anything else you wanted to toss in as far as newsworthy for today's stream?
News? No, I think we're good on the news. I would like to give, my usual shout out to our amazing partner over at Borkchain Inc. JR is one of the best guys I've ever met. He has a t-shirt clothing line that specializes in the crypto memes. They are great. They are awesome. He's also been kind enough to feature our content on his website here, Borkchain Inc.
Yep. If you head to borkchain.com, you can not only see what's going on his information about the Block Talk stream and current crypto values as well as cloud mining operations, but you can also click right here where it says shop here for crypto threads to get access to those dank memes that Crypto Foxtrot was just talking about.
Oh, yeah. And also, there is a link there to his Facebook group, Cryptocurrency and Blockchain for Beginners. We are very, very active there. I guess you could say we're kind of like the resident instructors of that Facebook group.
Yeah.
It's still relatively small, but we're getting our numbers there.
Yeah. The link actually doesn't work, but I will show you it's the link just is back to the main homepage. But if you go to Cryptocurrency and Blockchain for Beginners right here, you can see that Borkchain shirt getting rocked out. And of course, group by Block Talk, you can see us here. You can get a link to our personal page and all of that. So definitely try to, come check out the threads. If you're looking for some crypto gear, we both have t-shirts. You've got the BitConnect shirt, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah, so check out that shirt, and then I've got one which has got this Titanic and HODL on it, which is kind of ironic in a way. And then you can always scroll down here, year of the Dogecoin. Now keep in mind that this business actually operates and really puts most of its earnings back into charity. So animal rescue organizations are supported by by JR and the Borkchain team. So definitely a worthy contribution.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be money well spent. You get an awesome crypto meme T-shirt, and you get the satisfaction of knowing that your money is not being wasted by the team over there at Borkchain Inc. It's going back to supporting, like you said, animal rescue missions, which is very, very important in these times. So yeah, definitely stop by, check him out. And if you also scroll down in our description, our bio down here, there are some other links to some people that we've done some work with. Most recently added to that list is Meza Visions. He is a very talented young man who is a graphic designer. He's done a couple logos for us, and he's actually in the process of helping us revamp our bio panels here in our description on our page. So be looking forward for that. Those are going to get changed up as soon as he's done with those. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, if you are a streamer looking to get into, or if you're somebody who's looking to get into streaming, or if you're a streamer looking to, just learn different methods and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Fundever is a great place to check out. It's very much an achievement-based sort of system, so it's very fun. It's very gamified, and they have all sorts of materials, ranging from beginner streamers all the way up to pro esports streamers. So definitely check those guys out as well. They've been a huge help to expanding our network.
Yeah, I mean, they'll
Um,
give you all kinds of useful stats here. You can see number of followers, subscribers, likes, and all that, and it kind of groups it all under one area. And you can find the engagement rate and everything like that. So pretty exciting stuff, especially for, like you said, an upcoming streamer. You might want to know about where your viewers are coming from and how active your different social media platforms are.
yeah, absolutely. And I know some of you have probably seen that What's Around um, panel there. What's Around is actually a up and coming app that's on the blockchain. It will actually be on the Ethereum blockchain soon. They are the answer to Instagram when it comes to decentralized photo sharing. You pick and choose what information you share with them. So it's totally decentralized and it's distributed. And it's they actually pay you in their proprietary coin, Shot Coin, for using the platform and interacting with people on it as well. So yeah, definitely, it's a new app. So there are changes and tweaks and everything being made to it on a daily basis. They only have 6 devs right now, and they work around the clock, wearing their fingers down to nubs, typing out code and stuff.
Yes,
So
exactly. Dearmid has one quick question, so we'll wait for
sure,
that. And then Jay Wolfie, blockchain is the bee's knees. You know it, man. You know it. They do a lot of cool stuff.
absolutely.
So waiting on the old question coming in hot.
But yeah, before that question drops in, definitely do go check around What's Around. If you use our link there, you will actually be rewarded with $10 worth of shot coins, just as a thank you for signing up using our link. So yeah, definitely check that out. I think a lot of people who are definitely into Instagram, I know a lot of people are. So check it out.
So
Uh,
the question is, do you think the crypto will be used for, say, surgery and shit in the future? And my answer is there's always going to be an element of the human factor mixed in there. So a
sure.
surgeon performing a surgery is going to pretty much be the same. He might have robotic, tools, but say 50, 100 years from now, he's still going to have to perform to some degree the surgery. Now, where the blockchain comes in is there's going to be a medical record of that surgery that's stored in the hospital file on a blockchain there that patients can gain access to. So,
Right.
as far as the actual performing of the surgery, you know, a distributed ledger really can't assist with much more than maybe like a procedural, notes that the surgeon has to look at, the order of, incisions or whatever he might look up or something like that could be stored on the blockchain. Um, Oh, okay. I see what you say. So you
Oh,
mean
okay.
paying for it? Okay, so yeah. So think about this. So a surgery at a hospital is a major expense, right? And so in order for that to be in cryptocurrency, it has to be very widely adopted.
Right.
And so for that to happen, I mean, it is possible, but the reality is that we're so far away from that right now. The focus is going to be on Internet of Things, and sort of online purchases are going to be primarily where you're going to see that. But doctors' offices and dentist offices are already getting behind that. I saw a link on Reddit that had a guy. He went to his dentist, and his dentist accepted Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think Ripple was on there. So there
That's
were
awesome.
four or five currencies that this dentist accepted, and he had access to wallet information there. So it's already happening. Where that and a dentist's office is not that far of a jump from a doctor's office or at a hospital or something like that.
Yep.
So once the tech gets more widely ripped, yeah, dude, ripping those teeth out with the ripple. But yeah, man, if you're curious more about that, you can always go to the cryptocurrency subreddit. They have a lot of cool. That's where I saw it. They have a lot of cool stories and news items about adoption. You can actually search for the adoption tag, and then you'll be able to find that, as well as on cryptocurrency adoption hashtag on Twitter. So different places you can find that information. And if you have any more questions that come up in your head and you're thinking, oh God, I want to ask the Block Talk guys about this, but they're not online, you can always go to our Discord. So our Discord is linked right over here at the bottom of our Twitch page. You can hop in if you haven't already and use that, and that's where we kind of hang out when we're not streaming.
Yep,
So
absolutely. We're always in the Discord. I hang out there pretty much the majority of the day because I have no life. Rip. But no, even if I'm not like present at my computer, Discord does directly send messages to my phone, so eventually I will be alerted of that. You prefer carrier pigeons? Well, step into the 21st century because we're shooting pigeons in here. So go hit up Mike Tyson. I know he's got some pigeons for you. But
yeah,
Discord is where it's at these days.
Now be careful. Watch your ears when you go. Get those pigeons from him.
He might bite it off.
Yeah, straight up.
You can ask old Holyfield about that one.
Yeah, don't beat Tyson in a fight. He's gonna rip your ear off.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's been a very lively, entertaining stream. But definitely very positive about that. Come hang out with us in Discord, guys. If you have any more questions, just want to hang out and talk crypto. And any closing words, old Fox, or are you good as far as that goes?
I am all good on my end. Just a big thank you to everybody that tuned in today, especially those that contributed those Twitch bits and subs today. Big help. Those funds will not go to waste. Those funds are safe, boo. They will go to help developing our stream and getting more higher end equipment so that the quality of the stream can only go up and up from here. So again, big thanks to everybody that donated and subbed today. Y'all are the real MVPs.
Yeah, hell yeah. I echo that. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Dearman, for the follow as well as the engaging chat today. We look forward to seeing you next week when we go live. More than likely, we'll be streaming this weekend as well, so keep tuned into our social media to find out updates about that. And big thanks again for everyone tuning in. And I hope you all have a great day of streaming, trading, and living life.
Yeah, see y'all soon.